Hi, good morning everyone. See, I told you I was on a roll doing these videos. So here I am back again, and I had something else that I wanted to cover because there's been calls about this, and apparently it's been holding a few people back. So the question is, will there be any math with medical coding? So, okay, let me tell you, I'm going to tell you a really funny story. I once worked at a vocational college, and they wanted me to lead and open up a medical coding and billing program there in that college, and I was just all too thrilled about the opportunity. But since it was just opening up, I would be the medical coding billing program director as well as the teacher. So yay for me, because not only do I get to run the show, but I also get to teach, and that's my passion. So anyway, I was just, I was waiting for, it was open enrollment, and I was competing with medical assisting department and dental assisting department. And it was just an unfair thing that when students would come in for orientation, as they got to break out and go, follow the program director who they thought the course was the most appealing, I was always last in line, because the students would take tours around the campus and they would see, oh my gosh, medical assisting, I get to use a stethoscope and I get to draw blood and run all these tests, and wow, it's just so intriguing. Look at all these mannequins on these beds, and this is just awesome. It's like a nurse but just a step behind. So they get really excited. And the same thing with dental assisting. They would go into the dental lab and see all the equipment and see the mannequins there, and it's just so appealing to the eye, and the energy involved with hands-on medical patient care was also very appealing. Well, then you walked past my room and all there was a computer, and a whiteboard, and a ton of heavy books. So it did not look very appealing, and so people would bypass me and not come in to hear my orientation. So I said, well, shoot, this medical coding department is never going to get up on its feet if I don't start getting some people to enroll. So I would do what anybody else would do. I would steal them. I would steal the people coming in to see the admissions team. They'd be in the lobby, and I once got a hold of a young lady, and I said, listen, what are you here to learn more about? And they said, oh, I'm here for dental assisting. I've always had a passion for dental assisting. And I'm like, oh, is that right? Well, you come with me. So I took them into my office, and I would say, well, let me tell you, I know that your heart lies with dental assisting, and that's to be respected, but let me at least, have the floor for a minute and tell you all about medical coding. And at the end of that, you can just let me know how you feel. And, so I got off on my spiel, my tangent, and when I get going, boy, it is no shutting me down. So I'm saying this and I'm saying that, and with all the animation and all the energy, and she says, at the end of, I think, of a 10-minute dog and pony show, she says to me, will there be any math? And that was it. That was the question she had for me after everything that I'd stated. Will there be any math? And I was just, well, no. And I realized, I said, well, there's a little bit of math, but it's so little that it doesn't matter. And so I just kind of said, no, oops. And so she goes, well, okay, because at the end of the day, what matters is, what we get paid. And if you're telling me that I will actually earn more income as a medical coder than I would a dental assistant or a medical assistant, then you know what, give me the paperwork and let me sign. And I'm like, yes, okay, yes, she's signing. She's going to be my student, I'm going to teach her. So everything was magical. We went and she went onto the program, and I would teach them every day, Monday through Thursday. And then one day, about 6 months down the road into the courses that I was teaching, I remember, I was on the whiteboard, and I was working out a scenario that had to do with the integumentary system. And I began to add a couple of measurements, and all you heard from the very back row was, I was told there would be no math. busted. I totally turned red, and I looked at her and I said, "Oh, I'm so sorry. There's just this a teeny bitty amount, not very much at all, math, you know." And by then she just began to crack up, and she'd forgiven me. She said, "You know what? I'm already too in love with medical coding. I'm not going to just throw this away because I'm not, you know, real thrilled about math." But it's guys, what I'm trying to tell you is there is a little bit of math involved, but very little, something that everyone could figure out with the integumentary system, and also a very little amount with musculoskeletal system. So the answer is, you know, for the most part, there is very little math, okay? So I wanted to share that story with you and have some fun with you all this morning. God bless you all. Stay tuned for another video because you know they're coming out like little hot tamales.
Hello, my name is Rochelle Ross, and I've taken the CPC class in Dallas. Guys, what I really want to tell you is that Miss Ortega is the best. I know you've seen her information on the internet stating that she teaches the different classes. I want to tell you all that, like myself, this is something that I've wanted to do for so long. And when I say you come in here, it's 3 days, 8 to 5, you know, but it's worth it. It's worth it every bit of the way. You do your homework that she give you. You'll get some pre-work to do, and she'll help you once you get in class with everything that you need to know as far as labeling your books and doing what you need to do so that you can feel comfortable when you take your exam. So I just want to say, please, I was skeptical, but I did it, and it was worth every penny that I paid. So I just want to say, if you're out there and you're looking for a good instructor, please consider Miss Ortega.